That mama done over there? Praise the Lord. Man, did you enroll in the bullying anti-bullying class? No? All right, all right. All right. While I'm on vacation, I'm expecting that to be done. Y'all pray, y'all pray. Joshua chapter 9. I want to start with that third verse, Joshua 9, verse 3. It's so good to hear that organ. Y'all hear that organ? Oh, good. Oh, good. Lord, help me don't start hooping the first point. You know, I'm in the church in a minute. Lord, help me. Verse 3. Stop it. Don't do that now. Lord, have mercy. But when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and to Ai, they on their part acted with cunning. They went and prepared provisions and took worn out sacks for their donkeys and wineskins, worn out and torn and mended, with worn out patched sandals on their feet and worn out clothes, and all the provisions were dry and moldy. They went to Joshua in the camp at Gilgal and said to him, to the Israelites, we've come from a far country, so now make a treaty with us. But the Israelites said to the Hivites, perhaps you live among us. Maybe you're not as far as you say. Then how can you make a treaty with you? They said to Joshua, we are your servants. And Joshua said to them, who are you? And where did you come from? They said to him, your servants have come from a far country because of the name of the Lord your God, for we have heard a report of him, of all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the two kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, King Shion, Heshbon, and king of Bashan, who lived in Ashtaroth. So our elders and all the inhabitants of our country said to us, take provision in your hand for the journey, go to meet and say to them, we are your servants, come now and make treaty with us. Verse 12, here is bread. It was warm when we took it from our houses as our food for the journey on the day we set out to come to you. But now, you see, it's dry, it's moldy. This wine were new when we filled them, and see now they burst, and these garments and sandals of ours are worn out from the very long journey. So the leaders partook of the defiled provisions and did not ask direction from the Lord. I want to preach from this subject. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, you're going places, but watch who you let in. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. And just somebody say, I got to watch who I let in. I'm amazed at the profound connection that is between that of parenting and that of pastoring. I'm amazed at the connection between that of pastoring and that of parenting. Timothy has it right when he suggests or asserts, Paul to him, that a pastor must manage his house well. Not perfect, so don't look at me all judgmental. Because when you live with humans, there's nothing perfect. We would have the perfect church if we would give the benediction and everybody leave. But you have to manage it well. And the reason is because the same concerns that I have for my children, I find that I have those same concerns for the sheep to which God's given me the grace to steward. Of course, I want my children to live out the Christian life, to have life and have it more abundantly. I want them to have academic success. But one of my major concerns that I think can bring all of that into jeopardy is I'm always concerned with who they let in to their inner circle of their lives. Let me get at it this way. I don't know if your mom and dad said this to you, but my mom and dad said it to me. They said if it's 6 of you and 5 of you are crazy, chances are you will be the 6th one. Because the success of your life or the lack thereof largely depends on who you allow into your inner circle to speak into your life. Oh, I got to work here, but I don't mind working this morning. And ironically, the same concerns that I have as a parent for my children, I have the same concern as a pastor for you. My concern for Alpha Worship Center and the people that make up this wonderful body, as God has shifted us and has in his own way decided to build momentum. Now the question emerges, who will you allow into your life that can either make your life better or make your life bitter? Oh, y'all getting quiet here, but I got my working shoes on. Okay, let me give you an example so I can make it so plain. I'm concerned for marriages that have been going along good for 20 years. And then all of a sudden, they let the wrong person in their marriage. And now because they let the wrong person in their marriage, that one person can take a marriage from bliss. Oh, come on, help. I know I'm talking now. Okay, let me help you here. I'm concerned with people who are getting promotions on their job. I'm concerned because my concern is when you get the promotion, who will you let into your life? Because you can allow the wrong person into your life, and now their problem can become your problem. Are you with me here? Can I be honest? This is the church. I'm concerned with who you associate with in the church. Let me go on. Let me take a drink on that one now. Because everybody in the church, you ought not be talking to. See, there's some people, listen, can I listen? If Jesus will not make them happy, and Jesus died for them, I don't care what you're going to do for them. They're going to always call you complaining over something. So it comes a point, there are even some people in church that you got to put on delete button. Because every time they have discourse or dialogue in regard to the things of God in the place of worship of God, all they want to talk about is what happened in the past. But the devil is a liar. You can't live life from the rear view mirror, Alpha Worship Center. Every now and then you got to be thankful for now, because God said if you still want to complain, I'll give you something to complain about. Well, Pastor, what people do you let in your life? Y'all ask such great questions. I knew y'all was smart. This particular narrative gives us principles of people you need to avoid. If you recall, they just dismantled I. And this was the second go round, because the first go round, they were not consulted with God and they touched the accursed thing. And because of that, God had to allow them to lose to the smallest army, even though they had military might. But they got it corrected and reestablished their relationship with God. They inquired of God, and God told them, go and ambush them. And if we recall, after they got the victory, they didn't go into the next battle, but they went to the mountain and worshiped God. I just want to stop right there. Sometimes before it's easy to have humility while you're in the valley, you see. But it's another thing to have humility while you're successful, you see. And we learned last week that if we're going to go to higher heights and to deeper depths, the very thing we must understand is we've got to stay humble. That as long as God can trust us with his blessings and we don't get the big head, come on, help me here. Just look at your neighbor and say, stay humble because you're going places. Don't get too big for your britches, you see. And so now all of the kings have formed a confederation because now they realize they can't beat Joshua and the men of Israel by themselves. Arthur Pink suggests that they must galvanize against Joshua and Israel because finally Israel is at their spiritual best. And isn't it ironic where people that normally do not get along will find themselves getting along to destroy you? Yeah, let me throw this in here parenthetically as I digress to the text. You see, my dad used to coin a phrase called politics makes strange bedfellows, you see. And he would always tell us that because I would always be enamored how people that didn't like each other would form a league to destroy us, you see. And my dad would say, well, when you are the winning team, you've got to get, when you're the winning team, you've got to get used to people trying to gang up on you to stop you. I don't know who I'm preaching to, but I'm talking to somebody where all of a sudden it seems like people who did not get along are getting along to get at you. It seems like God is not just allowing one storm, but he's allowing this storm and that storm and the storm over here. And I come to tell you, don't be dismayed. Just give God a thank you praise, because the fact that they're ganging up on you suggests that God is doing something through you that's bigger. And oh, y'all not gonna help me here. Don't you know your enemy can see your potential better than you can see it? And if your enemy is against you, it's because you got something to be against. Somebody say, teach Pastor Hinson. I think I will. All of the kings gathered together to get down for war. But a segment of the Hittites called the Gibeonites, they said, wait now, we ain't going to fight like that. Said, we're going to use some trickery. Verse 3, but when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and to Ai, they on their part acted with cunning, slick. Point number 1, don't let people in your life who are deceptive on small things. Don't let people close to you who lie on small stuff. What's the day? Oh, the day's Saturday. Oh, really? Have you ever met somebody that just lie over stuff they don't have to lie about? Watch what happens. The first thing they lie about is the crowd that they hung with. First of all, they're related to the 5 kings that gathered together to destroy Israel. But now, when they saw the success of Joshua, they disassociated themselves with the crowd they usually hang with and try to associate themselves with Joshua. Be careful of people that all of their friends are people that hate you. How you gonna be my friend and every friend you got can't stand me? How come you always tell me what they say? Because don't nobody talk to me about you. Because they know if you come to me about Ebony, nobody at this church has said anything bad to me about my wife. You know why? Because you know. She could have just shot somebody in the parking lot. You better say, I don't know what they done did to the first lady. So if people keep dropping bad stuff to somebody close to you, It's because the person that's close to you don't really like you. Is the sound on? Also, don't let people in your life that are cunning. This word in the Hebrew has a suggestion of beguiling, meaning they don't just do an outright lie. They have a little truth in the lie. See, good liars got to know how to lie. You ever meet a good liar? Y'all quiet on me today. A good liar will have you second guessing you. Yeah, you told me I can loan. You give me $50. You be like, did I say that? Because to be a good liar, you can't just lie outright. Okay, let me give you some doctrine. Satan is a good liar. In order for him to lie, he's got to tell a little truth. Eve, if you eat this, you will know the difference between good and evil. That was true. What he left out was, if you eat this, you'll be an enemy to God. You see. So you got to watch people who come in your life to flatter you with words, but really they stab you in the back. Can I throw this in here parenthetically? Do you know why they call it self-esteem? So that you can get some self-esteem for yourself. Stop depending on people to pat you on the back, to let you know you've done a good job. You got to get to the point where you know that if I please God, then I'm happy about it. And when you get to that point, they can't trap you and trick you with false compliments that they don't even believe themselves. The devil is a liar. If you're going to be close to me, you're going to have to earn it. Can I preach like I feel it? Ladies, don't fall for these weak compliments. You the best looking girl I've seen in my life. The devil is a liar. If you look at Holly Berry, you know he lied. Because if not careful, you will allow the wrong people to get close. What they say to them, we heard about everything about you. They flattered Israel with their words, and flattery can take you places. And deceptive people are flatterers. Oh, y'all looking at me strange. Some of y'all in here have been around. Have you ever been around somebody? Girl, that shoe you wearing is something. That shoe you wearing is fierce. Soon as you walk around, but you know she can't afford it. Y'all look at y'all. You see, you got to be. Watch the third one in the first one. Be careful of people who act like they far away from you, but they're really close to you. The trick they used was to act like they were from a foreign country, because foreigners got a special privilege from God that when foreigners come, they were underneath an act of grace, because foreigners were trying to be a part of the community of Israel. But people who were close to them were usually their enemies. Let me say that again. Foreigners were those whom God extended grace to. But most of their enemies were not foreigners. Most of their enemies were close. Let me help you today. Most of your enemies will not be distant people. Most of the folk that's going to be jealous of you, that's going to want to stop you from being what God's called you to be, that don't like you and you think they do. Most of the people that's going to end up stabbing you in the back will not be distant people. But in order for a person to betray a person, the person has got to be. And I don't know who I'm preaching to, but God told me to tell you, you need to assess who's in your Fab Five. Because you need people close to you that don't believe where you are, my God. But you need folk close to you that believe God for where he's taking you. Okay, how about I make this thing plain? We was eating some crabs the other day, yesterday, and some ribs. Give God praise for John, the Lord. I pray the Lord open the window of heaven and pour out a blessing that Lisa and John ain't got room enough to receive. I pray. I put them top on the prayer list after I ate that rib yesterday. And we took that thing out, and John said, just open it a little bit. I said, okay. I grabbed that one crab, grabbed another crab. But there was a black crab in there. And that black crab, y'all gonna get it in a minute, was holding on to the other crab. And many of you are not further along because you got people who are close to you holding you down. But the devil is a liar. You got to get to your point where you love God more than you love people. And if God say let them go, look at your neighbor and say it's time for you to let them go. Because people are deceptive. Okay, y'all don't believe me. Y'all remember in Atlanta, the boy who acted like the doctor? Y'all seen that? Google that. Young boy. He had a doctor's uniform on. He had a stethoscope. Am I saying that right, nurses? Stethoscope, that's right. He even had him a little office. And people would come to him to be seen by the doctor. I ain't lying. And here's the funny part. This joker ain't even go to junior college. Meaning, stop just trusting people just because you see them. Are you with me here? You got to do an investigation on people when you go let them close to you. I want to know who your mama was. I want to know who your daddy was. I want to know who your first cousin. Why your uncle don't like you no more? Because if you was crazy at the last church, chances are. They ain't going to send me to Dallas no more. I know that, mama. You better find something in Delaware. Point number 2, watch folk that offer you defiled things. They come and they offer him, the word says, moldy bread, old wine, and when the wine gets old, it bursts. I'm looking at somebody, just look straight ahead. Anybody got to know you drink? Just look straight ahead. You looking at all that? Everybody clenched up, calm down. Just drink responsibly. No, I'm playing. Some worn out shoes. And this is what they said when they got there. It's worn out, the bread is moldy, the wine is bursting. Because it got dirty in the journey. So when we put it in the bag, it was fresh. But by the time we got to you, Joshua, it was dirty. Well, here's the problem. They didn't have to travel that far. The Bible says that they were already close. So that means when they put it in the bag, it was already moldy bread. When they put it in the bag, it was already bursted wine. Okay. Come here, Esau. testify. Esau said, you know what? I gave up my blessing and my birthright for a bowl of pottage. Woo! I feel God right there. Can I be honest with you? Sometimes I can kick myself on what I've given up for some of the dumbest people. Don't look at me like I'm by myself. Is there anybody here that when you look back over your life, you say, I can't believe I gave up all of that for that little bit of moldy bread and that stuff that didn't even satisfy me? The devil is a liar. If you gonna come get me, baby, you can't get me with no moldy bread. Here's the tragedy of the text. The Bible says that they ate the provision. Before they ate the provision, they said, wait a minute, y'all not who you say you are. But as soon as they took the food from the enemy, woo, I wish I had a church tonight. As soon as they took what the enemy had to offer, all of a sudden the stuff caused them to change their mind on who they were. Hear me, look at me. In this capitalistic society where things have become people's gods, don't you allow somebody to pimp you for stuff. The devil is a liar, because some people will give you stuff and hold it over your head. Have you ever been there? Somebody gave you a ride 20 years ago, and every time they see you, don't you remember? Listen, if you gonna hold it over my head, I don't even want you to give it to me, because I believe that God will supply all of my needs. And if God don't use you, he'll use somebody else. But I'm not gonna compromise my spiritual conviction to get a pedicure or a manicure or a perm. I buy my own weave, I buy my own suit, because God has been. Look at your neighbor, say, watch what you accept from people. Watch what you accept from people, because some of the stuff they give you has strings attached to it. Are you with me here? Because sometimes they'll try to use your bad situation to control you. That's why you got to be careful who you let help you. Oh, I'm preaching now. I don't care if you like it or not. I'm preaching now. Young ladies, watch who you let help you. Don't give your body up to pay a portion of your rent. God will supply your needs. Keep your skirt down. You ain't got to pimp yourself. Pimp yourself for that. Somebody say, preach. Devil is a liar. And if you can't get it, learn to live without it. Oh, y'all ain't gonna help me here. I know y'all want that name and claiming stuff, but the devil is a liar. See, I learned how to give God praise with potato bread, Wonder bread, Strowman bread, and the bread that ain't got no name. Come on, help me preach. Up in here, Dietz and Watson, and no name hot dogs. I burn them all the same way. Okay, y'all think I'm lying. We was in Dallas the other day. And by day 5, my money wasn't like Bishop Reed money. Because, you know, when you go out sometime, you know, that's why they need to make rules for the group go out. Because I'm trying to figure out, I just got buffalo wings. And you got a steak, and you done split the bill equally. I don't think that's fair, but I'm not saying. I ain't saying that. I'm saying me. That's just me. You done had 3 lemonades. I had water. That's all I'm saying. I had water. And I didn't see free refill on it. I'm just saying. Bishop come and say, boy, let's go to Papa Do's. No, Bishop, I'm tired today. I'm tired. I got some reading to do. I got some studying to do. So I had to Google me a Waffle House. Waffle House, I could get pork chop, egg, and home fries for $7.99. And I got $3 left over to get me a honey bun or a Snicker bar. Come on, help me. Because, you know, Spirit charges for everything. But on Monday, I started at Papa Do's. On Friday, I'm at the Waffle House. But I'm still happy because I don't need stuff to make me happy. I got Jesus. And when you got Jesus, you learn how to be a base. Come on, help me here. And about. Look at those stuff. Deceptive and dirty stuff. Okay, my daughter, this new restaurant opened down the street called Panero's. Mancheros. Well, Cheros. When you marry an English teacher, they correct everything. And we always go to Chipotle. We're going to have to give you a microphone too. But Panero had this new sign. And me and Chandler was riding by the side. And the line was all wrapped around there. I said, Chandler, you want to try that store right there? No, Daddy. Let's stick with Chipotle. I said, no, Chipotle. I said, no. Look at the pictures of the food. The pictures was all nice. Sour cream was dripping off the chicken. I said, boy, we gonna get them in here. We ordered that food. It was the worst food I ever had because I fell for the picture. So, that went over somebody here. Some of y'all have met some of the worst people in your life, but you fell for the picture. But the devil is a liar. I don't care how you look. I want to see who you are inside. Because it don't matter how you look. Because you can look good, but be a devil on it. Deceptive. Defile things. Third thing, don't fool with them. They try to disconnect you from the divine. Whenever they come into your life, they disrupt your relationship with God. Whenever they come in your life, you go carnal instead of spiritual. Okay. Verse 14. So the leader partook of the provision and did not ask direction from the Lord. Now watch this now. Look how this particular narrative unfolds. Before they crossed to fight Jericho, they sought God's opinion. And God said, walk around the walls and they'll come tumbling down. In the first battle of Ai, they did not consult God. The second battle, they consulted God. And they had the greatest victory since Jericho. And now, all of a sudden, in the midst of the success, they suspend their prayer life and start making decisions without God. Woo! Because now all of a sudden, Joshua and the people of Israel think now, because this is a small matter or smaller matter in comparison to the warfare fights, that this is a decision that they can make on their own. And I'm coming to tell you, you don't need to seek God for just big choices. But you need to seek God for all your choices. Because sometimes one small bad choice can put into jeopardy everything that you've worked years, come on, help me here, to obtain. Arthur Pink suggests that it's here where the people of Israel begin to trust their own flesh. They now begin to have confidence in their own self. And when you begin to have an inflated confidence of you, that's when you begin to mess up everything in your life. Because you now realize, or you believe, or you come to the conclusion that you can get further without talking to God about your situation. Oh, y'all gonna help me here, but I feel good now. You know God got a hold of your life. Not when you come to him when hell breaks loose. But you know God got a hold of your life when you start coming to God over everything. I thank you, God. I feel it now. There are people that are trying to get into your life right now. That you got to seek the hand of God. And you need to learn how far you need to let them in. There's some people in your life right now that are close. That when you seek the hand of God, he's going to tell you, you got to get far away from them. Oh, I feel God right now. The Bible says, trust not in your own flesh. Trust not in your own heart. Because when you trust in your own flesh, you mess it up every time. But the same trust you put in you, you got to transfer it and put it in God. Now, we say we trust God. We say we have faith in God. We say we believe God. But we only believe God if we can see it. Y'all know I don't like elevators. I don't like elevators. When I go to the hotel, they try to put me on the high floor. Because, to get the view. I said, I don't need no view. I'll Google the view. So I had to stay one night at the Fairmont. And I said, Talu, I'm going to stay with you because the president was coming and I didn't think I could get from my hotel to the next. So my former youth pastor, I said, I'm going to stay with you. He said, okay, pastor, put stuff. I said, praise the Lord. I said, okay, we going. I said, go on up there. I'll meet you up there. And then I got there and I said, Talu, called him, what floor are you on? He said, 17. So then what I do, I try to wait to see if somebody else going on the elevator. So at least I can go on with them. So at least if I get stuck. Come on here. Misery loves what? So I'm waiting, and nobody coming. So the Lord said, now you're going to have to get on this elevator. Because sooner or later, folk going to think you crazy. And they're going to call the police on you. Watch this. I had no one to depend on. I had to trust the elevator. I didn't feel like it. I didn't have nobody to look at. I had to trust the elevator. I had to put all my weight in the elevator. I don't know how the elevator works. I don't know the mechanics that goes into. All I did was push 17, and then the door, then closed quickly. So you be like, should I get out? got in the elevator. And all I could do was look at the numbers. 1, 2. Then somebody, this really did happen. Somebody got on the 3rd floor, but they got off at the 5th floor. You could have walked up them 2 flights. 6. Guess what happened? I had nobody to depend on. I didn't feel like it. But guess what happened? I got to my destination. Some of y'all missed that. Because I trusted in something and didn't know how it worked. Oh, I'm preaching better. You responded. God says, if I can trust the elevator, surely I can trust him. I might not feel like it. I might not have nobody to lean on. You might not have nobody to depend on. But some trust in horses. Some trust in chariots. But is there anybody here that will trust? I'm done. Well, preacher, what friend should I let close? And what friend should I keep close? I'm glad you asked. You can't always trust these worldly friends. And you can't always trust church folk. Because I'm sad to say, but church folk sometimes will let you down. But there is a friend. Y'all not going to help me preach in here. That sticks closer than a brother. Is there anybody here who knows about that friend? Where most friends, will lie to you. We got a friend named Jesus where they'll give you dirty stuff. But Jesus gave his life that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor. Say, oh neighbor, it's time for you to keep Jesus in the center of your life. Now, if you're going to keep Jesus in the center of your life, I dare you to give God a praise because Jesus, I feel church now. I ain't got no voice, but I got to feel a little something today. Jesus will stick closer to you than a brother. Can I preach like I feel it? What a friend we have in Jesus. Yeah, that's my friend. Is there anybody here that had friends walk out on you? But I come to encourage you today. Be not dismayed. On every side, God will, take care of you. But I come to tell somebody, don't let them in your life because God is taking you places. Do me a favor. Help me preach like I feel it. Look somebody dead in the eye and say, neighbor, you got to be careful who you let in because you go in places. Now, if you know that you're going places, give God a praise. Let God arise and his enemy be scattered because I've been down too long. I've been down too long to let one knucklehead come in my life and mess up my life. Is there anybody here that trusts God? Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Everybody standing. Listen. There's not a friend like Jesus. You tried everything. You tried every place, person, situation. But now it's time for you to try Jesus. You done try weed. You done try him. You done try her. But now it's time for you to try Jesus. Now you can listen. Listen.